Welcome to Lasea class. I am your teacher, Jan Lasea. A blessed day to everyone. Today, let us learn ESP32 Wi-Fi web server. The ESP32 Wi-Fi web server is a setup where an ESP32 microcontroller hosts a local website. By connecting to a Wi-Fi network, it allows users to open a web browser on a phone or a computer and interact with the microcontroller, letting you control hardware or read sensors without needing the internet. The methods of operations of the ESP32 Wi-Fi web server are the following. Hosting. The ESP32 is programmed to store and serve web pages, usually written in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Connection. It connects to a local Wi-Fi router, or it can generate its own local Wi-Fi network or access point mode. Interaction. When you type the ESP32's IP address into your web browser, the chip sends the web page to your screen. Pressing buttons on that page sends commands back to the ESP32 microcontroller to execute actions. Here are some practical applications of the ESP32 Wi-Fi web server. Number 1. Smart home control. Remotely turn on or turn off the lights, relays, or appliances from your smartphone. Number 2. Sensor monitoring. Check real-time data like temperature, humidity, or air quality from a localized dashboard. Number 3. Device configuration. Connect to the device and easily input your Wi-Fi credentials through a setup portal. A client-server network is a computing architecture where devices are divided into two distinct roles, such as clients, which request services or data, and server, which processes those requests and provides the requested resources or data. How it works. A client phone or a laptop PC send a request to a central server via a local network. The server receives the request, validates the client's permission, and processes the necessary data. The server sends the requested information, like a web page, back to the client. Note: a standard TP-Link 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi router reaches a maximum distance of about 150 feet or equivalent of 45 meters of signal strength. The materials we need to build a simple project are the following. Number 1, we need to have a ESP32 microcontroller. You can purchase the ESP32 microcontroller at the Layad Circuits Electronics Engineering Supplies and Services, located at room B314 Lopez Building, Session Road, Baguio City, Philippines. Or you can visit their Facebook at this URL address. We need also to have ESP32 expansion board, but it is not mandatory. You can use a breadboard and then place it at the center, the ESP32 microcontroller. Next, OLED I2 128 by 64 display. Next, we need to have a breadboard, a DHT22 module that will measure and access the temperature and humidity. Next, we need to have a 5-volt relay module as a switch to turn on, to turn off the USB LED bulb. We need to have a 5-volt USB LED bulb. We need to have a 5-volt 1 ampere or 2 amperes plug with a male barrel jack. And then the purpose of this is to power on for the 5-volt USB LED bulb. Next, we need to have a Type A female USB port connector, a DC female barrel jack, some jumper wires, and a USB Type B cable for the ESP32 microcontroller. We need to have a wireless network router, any brand, but my wireless network router brand is the TP-Link TL-WR840N, which has a frequency of 2.4 GHz. We need to have a Arduino CC++ IDE. The latest version in my laptop is the version 2.3.8. And we need also to have a computer, whether it is a laptop or a desktop PC. This is the wiring diagram for the simple project. Let us focus our attention at the breadboard. The DHT22 humidity and temperature sensor, the positive pin will be connected to the 3.3 volt pin of the ESP32 microcontroller. The data pin is to be connected to the GPIO number 32 of the ESP32 microcontroller. The negative pin of the DHT22 humidity and temperature sensor will be connected to the ground pin of the ESP32 microcontroller. Moving ahead to the next, we have the OLED I2C 128 by 64 display. The BCC pin will be connected to the 3.3 volt of the ESP32 microcontroller. The ground pin will be connected to the ground of the ESP32 microcontroller. The synchronous clock pin will be connected to the GPIO 22 of the ESP32 microcontroller. The synchronous data pin of the OLED will be connected to the GPIO 21 of the ESP32 microcontroller. Let us proceed to the 5-volt relay. The BCC pin of the 5-volt relay will be connected to the BN pin of the ESP32 microcontroller. If we connect a wire that wire is not a source of power, because BN means voltage input, therefore it will instead become a output voltage, and then the amount of voltage that it will emanate from this BN pin is a 5 volt, and it is suitable to power on our 5 volt relay module. The ground pin will be connected to the ground of the ESP32 microcontroller. The input pin or the middle pin or the control pin will be connected to the GPIO number 5 of the ESP32 microcontroller. To the other side of the 5 volt relay module, the NO, which stands for normally open, the NO normally open terminal will be connected to the positive pin of the 5-volt USB LED bulb. The CO or the COM, which is the middle terminal, which stands for common terminal, will be connected to the positive pin of the DC female barrel jack. In the 5-volt USB LED bulb, the VCC plus pin will be connected to the 5-volt relay module, which is the normally open. The ground pin of the USB LED bulb will be connected to the ground pin of the DC female barrel jack. The 5-volt 1 ampere plug with male barrel jack. The purpose of this, we will connect this male barrel jack to the DC female barrel jack to power on the USB LED bulb. The barrel jack will be connected to the DC female barrel jack. The plug, which is this one, will be connected to the electricity plug power that supplies a 220 volts of AC. This plug will convert 220 AC to 5-volt DC. We need to install some libraries needed for our simple project. Using the Arduino IDE, we go to the boards manager and install the ESP32 board by ExpressIF Systems. Next, we need to install the ESPFS web server library. Step number 1, download the ESPFS web server library from the given GitHub. And you will download this zip file. Step number 2, to install that zip file in the Arduino IDE, we click the sketch menu, click the include library, and then select this add.zip library. And then the next step, step number 3, we browse the location of that zip file, the ESP-webserver-3.3.0.zip, and then we click the open button to install this library. Next, we need to install the Adafruit SSD 1306, a library by Adafruit to be used for the OLED display. And we need to go to the library manager to install this. Next, install the DHT sensor library by Adafruit to be used for the DHT22 humidity and temperature sensor. This is the physical appearance of the ESP32 web server page. The web server was made of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, jQuery, and some plugins. Let us learn the steps on how to set up the files for the web server. First, we need to browse the location of the Arduino project. Inside the folder, create a subfolder named Data. We need to create a folder named Data. Next step, we browse the subfolder Data, and then inside, we place our index.html file together with the icon of that index.html file. Next step, we need to create 3 subfolders, namely CSS, IMG, and then the GS. Next step, we place all cascading style sheet files under the subfolder CSS. Next step, we place all images files under the subfolder IMG. And then finally, we place all JavaScript files under the subfolder GS. Let us learn the steps on how to set up the Arduino Little FS upload. The purpose of this is to build and upload Little FS file systems for the ESP32 under the Arduino IDE. The first step is download the Arduino-littlefs-upload file from the given GitHub. Step number 2, browse the following path: drive C, folder users, subfolder admin, and then the folder .arduino IDE. And then the next step, we create a subfolder named plugins inside that subfolder .arduino IDE. The next step is to copy the Arduino-littlefs-upload-1.6.3.b6 file to the subfolder plugins. Let us learn the steps on how to upload the web server files to the ESP32 microcontroller. Step number 1, to upload our web server files to the flash memory of the ESP32 microcontroller. In the Arduino IDE, you press the keyboard keys Ctrl-Shift-P. Next, you scroll down below and then find and select the menu item Upload Little FS to pico/ESP8266/ESP32. And then it will now upload our web server files to the flash memory of the ESP32 microcontroller. The standard ESP-WROOM32E microcontroller has a capacity of 4 megabytes of flash memory. So make sure your web server files will not over that limit of up to 4 megabytes only. Other brand of ESP32 microcontrollers such as S2 or S3, the flash memory can reach up to 8 megabytes or even 16 megabytes. If there are errors during the upload of web server files, in my experience, if the serial monitor is open, you need to close the serial monitor because it uses the communication port. And then once that you close the serial monitor, you upload again the web server files by pressing the keyboard keys Ctrl-Shift-P until you will see this message of success of uploading the web server files. To connect our laptop PC or smartphone Wi-Fi to the wireless router is to select the SSID or the Service Set Identifier name and then type or input the password. In my case, in my TP-Link Wi-Fi router 2.4 GHz, the SSID that I name is Lasea Wi-Fi 2024. The password is 51876500. You cannot access my TP-Link Wi-Fi router because it is far away. That's why I can show you this SSID and together with the password. In the ESP32 Wi-Fi server, we read the messages displayed on the OLED display. Copy the ESP32 Wi-Fi web server IP address, for example, 192.168.4.1. In our laptop, PC, or smartphone as a client, we run a Google Chrome or any web browser, and then you type the URL address, the copied IP address, for example, 192.168.4.1, and wait for the first time that the captive portal will automatically appear on the screen. The codes run on the ESP32 microcontroller will run the captive portal. Type the SSID name together with the password, and then click the connect to that SSID name, and then afterwards you click the close button when this dialog window pop out on the screen. This captive portal will be run once, and then it will simply save the Wi-Fi credentials. In our laptop, PC, or smartphone as a client, type or input the copied IP address, and our ESP32 Wi-Fi web server will appear like this on the web browser. Let us learn the HTML codes how the ESP32 Wi-Fi web server page was made. These are the HTML codes of the file index.html. First, I included some files needed in our index.html file, such as the following: the Bootstrap cascading style sheet. We need to place the link and then the path where it is located, together with the text fade glow animation CSS, which is this pattern file, and then a plugin that I use, such as the toggle switch cascading style sheet, and then I made a custom body cascading style sheet for the web page. Next, we need to place here the location of the jQuery framework library needed in our web server page, also with the Bootstrap JavaScript file, together with the plugin toggle switch JavaScript file. These are the HTML codes that fade in, fade out, and put a glow color around the text. I place a class name that contains a command from the animation CSS file in order to animate the text with a glowing color, also with the other text with my name. The following concatenation HTML codes display a rectangle panel that has 3 labels for displaying humidity, temperature, and status of the LED bulb, and a checkbox switch GUI input for turning on or off the LED bulb. In this line, which is a label, I named the ID LBL humidity, that I will reference in my JavaScript, that it will display the updated humidity The next label, I name the ID LBL temperature for this second label. The third label, I name the ID LBL bulb, which is this one, so that it will display the status of the USB LED bulb. The following DIV codes is for the the checkbox switch plug-in. First, it will display a picture, and then beside is the checkbox switch. Let us proceed to the JavaScript codes. The command $.switcher with this argument string will initialize the on or off switch checkbox input GUI. The function update temperature will be invoked for every 3 seconds. The command fetch with this argument /temperature will receive the temperature sent by the ESP32 microcontroller in this data formal parameter. If the data received is valid, then it will update the temperature by displaying in a label of the web server of the client web server page. The command set interval with the name of the function update temperature and 3000 as parameters pass will set up the listening of incoming temperature messages from the ESP32 microcontroller every 3 seconds. The function update humidity will be invoked for every 3 seconds. The command fetch with a argument string /humidity will receive the humidity sent by the ESP32 microcontroller in this data formal parameter. If the data received is valid, then it will update the humidity by displaying in a label of the web server of the client's web server page. The command set interval with the name of the function update humidity and 3000 as parameters pass will set up to listen incoming humidity messages from the ESP32 microcontroller every 3 seconds. Every time we switch the on or off checkbox, the click event function will be executed by the client CPU. If the property check is true, then the image of a bulb turn on will be displayed on the image. The command fetch with a argument string /LED $bal is equal to 1 will receive the message regarding the on status of the LED bulb sent by the ESP32 microcontroller. If the text is received, then it will update the message the bulb is on by displaying in a label of the client's web server page. If the property check is false, then the image of a bulb turn off will be displayed on the image. The command fetch with a string argument /LED or LED $bal is equal to 0 will receive the message regarding the off status of the LED bulb sent by the ESP32 microcontroller. If the text is received, then it will update the message the bulb is off by displaying a label of the client's web server page. Let us learn the Arduino C++ codes to program the ESP32 microcontroller to read temperature and humidity from the DHT22 sensor and switch the 5-volt relay to turn on or off the LED bulb and send messages to the client's devices and receive input command from the client's devices via the web server page. First, we need to include some header files like the dht.h, wire.h, the Adafruit gfx.h, the Adafruit SSD 1306.h. Next, we need to declare some alias name using the hashtag define for the OLED display. Next, we need to instantiate a object name display using the class Adafruit underscore SSD 1306 to initialize the object display. Next, we instantiate a object named DHT and then pass some parameters like the DHT pin number 32 and then the DHT type, which is the DHT22, not the DHT11. And then I declared some global variables such as float temperature in degrees Celsius, float humidity, and then the string temp. Next, we declare some more header files for the file system, little fs, and then fs webserver.h. We instantiate a object named server using the class fs webserver, and then we pass these arguments, little fs 80, and then the string my server. I declared some more global memory variables like the string IP address, the unsigned int16 test int initialized to 150, the float test float. These global variables are for the captive portal to test. Next, I declared a constant integer name relay containing the GPIO 5 of the data pin of the relay. Next, I defined the alias name LED underscore built-in with a 2, and then I declared a global variable constant unsigned integer name LED pin, and then I declared additional string constant memory variables for the SSID, and then password. And then in this lines of code, you can modify the name of your SSID and as well as the password. The function setup is automatically invoked and run once at the start of the program execution of the ESP32 microcontroller. We assign the LED pin to be a output pin using the Arduino built-in command pin mode. Likewise with the relay pin to be a output pin. Next, we need to turn off the switch or the relay using the digital write with the argument pass such as relay and then the low. Next, we need to call the method begin for the DHT22 to activate and initialize the DHT22 temperature and humidity sensor module. Next, we need to call the begin method for the serial communication, and then we delay this for 1 second. Next, we need to initialize our OLED display using the library command SSD 1306 by calling the method begin, and then we pass some parameters in a if statement. And then the concatenation definition body of the function setup, we call the method start file system for our little FS library file system to start, together with the load application config for the testing for the captive portal. Next, the concatenation inside still of the method setup, we call the method start Wi-Fi of the object server to start to connect to the web to our Wi-Fi router, and then it has a 10,000 as a delay to connect. And then if the connection is success, therefore we need to call the method start captive portal, and then register our SSID name and then the password. Inside the body definition of the function setup, down below, the command server.on with these parameters, string/led, http_get, and then the function name handle led. We'll assign the function handle led as endpoint handler to be invoked when there is a message such as when the client switches on or off the checkbox. Inside the body definition of the function led, handle led, if the client send a val parameter with a value either a 1 or a 0, if the client send a val parameter, then it will determine what is the value parameter sent. If the value is 1, then it will switch on the relay to turn on the LED bulb using the command digital write, and then passing the arguments relay and then the constant high. If the value is 0, then it will switch off the relay to turn off the LED bulb using this command digital write, and then we pass some arguments relay and then the constant low. The ESP32 microcontroller will send a reply or feedback message to the client web server page, such as the bulb is on or the bulb is off. In this command, server.send with a argument 200 and then this string and then the string feedback message reply. Inside the body definition of the function setup, down below, the command server.on with this argument pass string/temperature and then the name of the function handle temperature, as will assign the function handle temperature as endpoint handler to send the measured temperature to the client's web server page via the web server page every 1 second. Inside the body definition of the function handle temperature, it will read the temperature from the DHT22 sensor and send it to the client's device via the web server page. Inside the body definition of the function setup, the command server.on with these arguments, we have a string/humidity, and then the name of the function handle humidity will assign the function handle humidity as endpoint handler to send the measured humidity to the client's device via the web server page every 1 second. Inside the body definition of the function handle humidity, it will read the humidity from the DHT22 sensor and send it to the client's device via the web server page. The following concatenation codes inside the void setup will call the method begin to start the server, and then it will display some messages on the serial communication window, and at the same time it will also display messages on our OLED display. Some of those messages to be displayed on the OLED display are the IP address of our ESP32 Wi-Fi web server, and then the measured humidity, and then the temperature, and my name as a software developer. When the function setup is finished, executed by the ESP32 microcontroller, the next function, which is the loop function, is repeatedly invoked and run repeatedly by the ESP32 microcontroller inside the body of the function loop, which is repeatedly will be executed by the ESP32 microcontroller every 1 second. It will call the method run of our ESP32 web server in order to handle client requests, such as the turn on or turn off the USB LED bulb. Next to that, it will read the temperature and humidity from the DHT22 sensor. Next to that, it will update the display of our OLED OLED display for that humidity, temperature, together with the IP address every 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us run and test. The smartphone is connected already to the Wi-Fi router using the given SSID and password. And then the ESP32 web server IP address is 192.168.0.100. This smartphone is already connected to the Wi-Fi router using the SSID and then the password. And also, I already open up the web browser, and then I type the URL address, which is that IP address. And as you could see on the LCD screen, we can now see the measured humidity and temperature, as well as the status of the LED bulb from the ESP32 microcontroller in real time. Let us turn on the LED bulb. As you could see, the LED bulb is turned on. This client smartphone send that command of a turn on to the microcontroller ESP32, and then the ESP32 received that command to turn it on, and then it send a command to the 5-volt relay to switch it on. And at the same time, the ESP32 send a feedback message to the client smartphone, and as we can see, the feedback message from the ESP32 microcontroller, the message, the bulb is on. The humidity is 79.70%. The temperature in my room is 30.40 degrees Celsius, and it is very hot because it is summertime. Let us turn off the LED bulb. And as you could see, the LED bulb is turned off. And then we can still see the humidity and temperature being updated in real time in our smartphone. Let us turn on again the LED bulb. And let us turn off again. One more time, let us turn on once again the LED bulb.
That ends our topic for today. I hope you are inspired in my class. Thank you for watching. God bless us.